Alrighty, I'm over here in Universal G-Code Sender, and I'm going to load a file first of all to flatten out my piece of wood. And so this is how I get this going. Like I said, this is UGS. The first thing you do, you'll notice this little weird looking type of thing. Looks like a couple of plugs, but I think that's what it's intended to look like. You click that. Wait a minute, it's going to turn color here in just a second. Nice bright orange. Now you notice this alarm. That's actually a good thing because that tells me that it's connected to the machine. So I'll just go down here to this button that says unlock, and now I'm gonna run my bit forward quite a bit and get ready to run the probe on it. The first thing I need to do is flatten the piece of wood. So I'm gonna zero out my datum points. I'll show you exactly how I do that in a case like this. First thing I do is if you notice on the screen, I've got my bit set pretty close to where I want it. So now I'm gonna run a particular set of macros that I have. In this case, I'm gonna start out with 1/4 XZC. That stands for a 1/4 inch bit. On the x-axis, 0 clearance. And let me hook up my probe real quick here. Whenever you're doing this, always turn the bit to a point where the flute, or one of the flutes at any rate, will run into the plate on your probe. So let me run this. That's for the x-axis. Now I have one for the y-axis. Now I'm going to do the z-axis. In this case, I'm going to zero the Z off the machine bed. And that's mainly because this first operation is a flattening and a thickness operation. I want to make sure that piece of wood is very flat, and I also want to make sure that piece of wood is 1 inch thick. So, since the piece of wood could vary quite a bit in its current thickness, I don't want to zero off the top. I want to zero off the bed so I can tell it to carve everything except for 1 inch, and however much that might happen to be. So let me set the Z axis here. Alright, that's all set to go. Now I'll load up the file for this. And then we'll start everything up, and we will begin cutting.